Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys have all been well. I have not posted in a little bit, a few weeks, almost a month now I think. But yeah, I've just been super busy with a lot of stuff. Being back at work with my students. Was preparing for an event that I was a vendor at and stuff like that a few weeks ago. So now I've just kind of been trying to debrief and just kind of get back into a clearer energy. So I've kind of taken a hiatus from a couple of things, but I got drawn to my cards. So I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to do a collective energy read for you guys. With it being fall and all. Bars, no, I'm just joking. This is obviously a time of releasing, and I know like I did a reading for myself recently, and I was like, wow, like the energy was like kind of crazy, like in a good way. Like excuse me, yeah, like it was kind of crazy because I'm like, whoa, like the energy that was showing up, it was like, it was all about things that I thought that I've let go of that are still kind of lingering. So I was like, oh, okay, so there's some stuff that I still, I thought that I worked on that I need to do a little bit more work on and need to pay a little more closer attention to. So with that said, it was 123 when I said that. I feel like I want to do a reading for you guys about things that maybe it's time to kind of release. So that's going to be the focus of this reading. Things that we need to release and let go of. So I split the deck over here. We have surrender, obsessive thinking, and surrender, frustration, starting off already. If you're obsessing about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help you bring clarity or even solve the problem. And then we have frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Now that's interesting because I just said something about just kind of taking your energy back, debriefing, regrouping, right? Excuse me. This is a time for that. So without further ado, we're going to look into this. Spirit, only let positive energy into this reading for the collective as we navigate what needs to be released at this time. Only give us clear, accurate messages for our highest good at this time. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So some of you guys have possibly been afraid to like let love in. The smoke from my sage, it was no smoke when I initially started the video, and then it started to smoke as I started to pull cards. That's interesting. That's a sign. Yeah, like I had said, wow, like I was trying to get like a good burn on it, and it wasn't really burning. Hold on 1 second, guys. So I wanted to read with my glasses because Lord knows I'm blind as a bat without them, but they keep on like, all of a sudden I'm sweating too, out of nowhere. And it's not hot in here, so that's weird. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, but it's smoking a lot more than it was initially because it was like no smoke on that at all a moment ago. All right, what does the collective need to know and see at this time for their highest good? Clear us the most accurate messages, Spirit. Okay. Surrender to your intuition. Tune in to your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. This first card out. What else? Surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Kind of going back to the intimacy thing, huh? I'll tell you guys what I'm kind of sort of getting in a second. Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. Let's get one more and then an overarching message. Negative thinking, we saw that one before. Actually, no, we didn't. We saw obsessive. Okay, these are like, they're fogging. I'm going to have to take them off. I really didn't want to. Okay, so if y'all see me struggling to read, it's because I really can't see right now. Okay. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. Let's get one more for the overarching theme for the collective energy. But yes, like that negative thinking and that obsessive thinking card, to me, they're very, very similar. So it's like about overthinking and having like a lot of like negative ideations and things of the sort. And I feel like it possibly is surrounding relationships, but we're gonna look deeper when we look into the tarot. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or a situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. And that was overarching. So it's basically, with that first card, with the intuition card, it's like basically there's almost like saying, I feel like they're saying when it comes to your any relationship in your life, especially like intimate relationships, your intuition is very, very much of the most importance at this time. But the thing is, it's like between following your gut instincts and then your intuition, do not allow like negative thinking and obsessive thoughts to kind of impede your progress when it comes to the things that you want to work towards, whatever that may be. Take a time to like kind of meditate and kind of reflect on the energy that's surrounding you in order to allow and welcome love and intimate relationships into your life. Baba deck we have surrender your desire to control people. Being over controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively, I was going to say effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, got that word like 3 times now, and give the situation some breathing room. Top of the deck, we have surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Middle of the deck, we have surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for, whether you're afraid of change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Okay, so yeah, a lot of I feel like with the obsessive / negative thinking, a lot of it might be about fear-based thinking that holds you back and it keeps you kind of stuck and stagnated, and obviously we don't want that. So it's a time to release. Like, it's okay to like allow your intuition and your gut feeling to like help you when it comes to making decisions and things of the like, but at the same time, do not allow for negative energy to kind of impede that process, because sometimes we confuse our intuition with our fears and those more not so positive ways of processing things. So for instance, let's say this is an example, oh, my boyfriend's cheating on me, or I think he's cheating on me, but it's paranoia versus actual, like, there's no gut feeling that's telling you this. It's all up here. That's completely different than your intuition, your third eye, getting those downloads and things like that. And your gut instincts. Like, we have those for a reason, but that's a lot different than like paranoia and obsessive thinking. Just saying. This is coming from somebody who lived it. All right, so we're gonna just get a few oracle cards just to kind of get a little bit more of a understanding of the circumstances that surround these cards here, and then we'll look into some tarot. Side note, in terms of me recording this, if I'm a little bit rusty because it has been a while, please bear with me. I'm also tired. I haven't had any energy to do much of anything lately. If it's not work related directly with book jobs, then I just been like out of it. But anyway, what we got? All right, we have library on the bottom of the deck. Knowledge, learning, history, information, research, books, pastime, archives, hidden documents, search, secrets. Looking beneath the surface, author, reading, writing. Um, right off the bat, I'm picking up on like lessons have been learned. Um, so it's a sense of like being able to process what you've learned and apply it. And this is happening now. That flew right out of my hand. It's happening now. The situation or event in question is occurring right now. Interestingly enough, too, when I split the deck, I didn't show you guys, but when I had split the deck, there was the train card, which is talking about moving on and travel and moving on in a new direction. In this picture, if you look closely in the background, there is a train. So it's almost like you guys are like in the process of moving on in a new direction in your life. When it comes to anything that has impeded your process of being able to successfully move in a new direction in your life. What do we got here? Tools, practical abilities, resources, has what it takes, application, build it, fix it, organization, help someone, task at hand, well prepared, equipment, getting shit done, masculinity. What else? I believe that's Capricorn energy. Yeah, you guys are like in the process of like rebuilding stuff in your life. You have slingshot, tension, strain, sudden anxiety, pressure, launch, stressed, pulled, set in motion, focus, begin, force, change, pulled in opposite directions, ready, aim, fire. It's like 5 of Wands energy. What else? Let's get maybe 2 more from this deck. Summer. Waxing quarter, the mother within the next 3 to 6 months. So I'm seeing Pisces, Leo, and Scorpio here. I feel like this is about choices, especially because the number 2 is there. Because like that's like a time card. Obviously summer just ended, so maybe something in the summer happened that prompted all of the stuff that's happening in your life at this time. And then look on the bottom of the deck, I intuitively decided to look to see what's there. Autumn, full moon, the queen within the next 6 to 9 months. That's a very interesting card too. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like something happened anywhere between the summer and up to now, and this was kind of prompting some type of change in your life. Everybody's situation is going to be different, so take the message as it resonates. But I feel like whatever has happened, it's one of those kind of things like perhaps you allowed, you know, yourself to kind of remain in a situation, whatever that entails. You know, everybody's situation is different. I am picking up on relationships, but again, it could be different for everyone. Perhaps, you know, you've been holding back when it comes to allowing yourself to, you know, get into a relationship or date or anything along those lines, because you're like, okay, maybe I'm stuck on something from the past, or maybe, you know, I've allowed, negative thinking to impact my intuition and my gut feeling. So I've been confusing the two, and now I don't know how to trust myself enough to make a good decision when it comes to love and dating. We have Fortress here. Fortitude, staying power, stubborn, sealed off, aloof, prepared, backbone, and endure, lasting, ready for anything, determined, unbreakable, true grit, what it takes. We have what it takes twice here. Well, close, getting shit done, kind of the same. Yeah, so I feel like, you know, it's kind of like this situation right now where it's like, you know, you guys are kind of, you know, very standoffish when it comes to letting anything in. But the thing is, you don't realize, but like it's very likely that things can like start working in your favor, possibly. Yeah. optical illusion on the top of the deck. Not what it seems. Mirage, trap, unclear, visual effect, confusion, head trip, trick, hallucination, hocus pocus, sleight of hand, projection. That's a good word there. Predictive programming. So it's like that, for some reason, projection really stood out here for me. It's like you guys are some of you might be projecting, you know, for those who it does resonate with. Yeah, you guys feel very much alone with this biker card in the middle of the deck. Excuse me. Yeah, it's about this kind of standing alone, moving and hoping that, you know, your actions will lead you somewhere where you want to be. But the thing is, it's like, let's look at these other ones. Yeah, karmic lessons that might have had to take place in order for you to start moving on. Yeah, one of the things y'all might have to let go is a victim mentality. Get grounded. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Yeah, it's like that's definitely what I'm picking up on for sure. Like, a lot of you guys have been trying to like work on yourselves, but again, there's like this anxiety, there's this frustration, there's like a lot of different emotions all kind of bottled up and mixed up together when it comes to moving in a new direction in your life. In particular, I feel when it comes to relationships, more likely than not, romantic relationships, I'm honestly picking up on. I feel like a lot of you guys, you know, again, have gained like a sense of stubbornness because you're like, I don't need anybody, I could do this by myself, blah 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 blah. I get it, trust me, I be having those moments too. But I mean, love is a nice thing to have, right? So it's like, look at that. That's what the deck, before I even really did anything, Two of Cups and the Chariot when I split the deck. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's giving me that vibe. It's like you guys want to move in a direction when it comes to romance and relationships and dating and all of that, but you guys are also very stubborn because you're still kind of like, I would say, kind of tainted when it comes to the things that, you know, have happened in your past, and you feel like you don't know if you can trust yourself to make good decisions when it comes to love. And I, like I said, I get it because like I've been there for sure. Even myself, I can say like I've taken rewind. I've taken a break from dating for similar reasons because I'm like, if I've gotten it wrong so many times in the past, am I gonna get it right this time? Am I gonna keep making the same mistake over and over? Have I truly learned my lesson? Like, you know, I can say for myself, I know that I'm still working on my healing process. I thought that I was a little more healed than I am. And I've learned very recently that I still have some healing to do. And that's perfectly okay. You know, healing is a journey, right? And it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight. And I feel like you guys might be going through something very similar. So again, you know, being able to understand the difference between paranoia or intrusive thoughts and things of the like versus your intuition, you know, listening to that third eye, and your gut, right? Your solar plexus. So it's like you got to know the difference because this is definitely causing you guys some kind of strife and like anxiety and stuff. And like I said, for some of you, this might be something that's happened somewhat recently, or there's been some like recent changes in development for you guys, like in the very recent past, like the summer slash like as soon as like the beginning of this, you know, this fall. But it's like it's all happening at this time, like that there's something that's coming in towards you. You know, after I stopped shuffling, we got the Justice on the bottom of the deck. In the reverse. So it's about like karmic lessons, right? So it's like, you know, experiencing like, you know, misfortunes and things like that. But it's really about, you know, balancing the scales in the sense of, you know, anything that had to be learned, it's been learned. Okay. All right, Spirit. So let's get a trying to think because I don't want to make this too long. Let's do a five card pull. 5 cards based off of this energy for the collective. What does the collective need to know at this time, Spirit? the wheel of fortune. So again, that's like about things turning around, right? Things are, it's fate. It's fated to happen this way. It's destiny. Like all these different things, right? It's like it's one of those kind of things where it's happening the way it's meant to happen. There's no way of getting around it. Like everything that you're experiencing right now, these are things that you were meant to experience. And I think a lot of it just had to do with lessons that had to be learned in order for you guys to move in a new direction in your life, so that you can, you know, be able to be confident in yourself enough to pick the right people in your life. And it doesn't have to only be romantic relationships. It could be work. It could be your friends. It could be family. Knowing which relationships to feel passionate enough about to allow those relationships to flourish and put the energy into it. Because like not every relationship is meant for that, right? You have to pick and choose. And on the bottom of the deck we have the Ace of Swords. Thank you, Spirit, for the clarification. So that's definitely what it's about. It's just about being able to trust yourself enough to know which relationships to foster and which ones to cut out. Tell us more. And it actually says karma on that card as well. I don't usually read the little blurb because I know what the cards mean, but sometimes there's certain words that I look down or something and I'm like, oh, I just got drawn to that part of that description of the card. What's that? Temperance. Nice. And so far you only got major arcanas here. You got the Temperance. So this is the incoming energy. You guys are working on like rebuilding and restoring like the peace and balance in your life. Yeah, that's that regrouping energy I was talking about. Being able to, get to that point where, everything's balancing out. Everything, the karmic wheel is, or the karmic scales are balanced. Lessons that had to be learned are learned. It's been distributed equally in the right way in order for you to find that sense of calmness in your life again. Yeah, whoa, look at that. Bottom of the deck, Judgment. Yeah, you guys are, you learned a lesson. You're awakening. After a period of time of, putting a lot of time in Seven of Pentacles here, putting time and effort into things that, didn't really serve you anymore. All right, I'm sorry. I try not to do this on camera, but I'm going to do it. Because usually if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be classy. I'm going to do wine. I got a nip here, and I'm going to sip on it. It's okay. It's Saturday. And I haven't really been drinking. So it's like first time I'm drinking like all week. I'm going to enjoy my Saturday. It's my only day off, baby. So I'm going to do me. Tell us more. All right, so what's coming in, we have two cards. What's coming, or not what's coming towards you, but what's going on behind the scenes more so. We have the King of Pentacles here, along with the Knight of Pentacles. So that's about, somebody who's very dedicated, right? Like the King of Pentacles is somebody who's grounded, somebody who might be like a businessman, very stable, very conventional when it comes to traditions and things of the like. They care about, traditional relationships and family dynamics and things like that. And the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who, they take their time. They're very patient. They persevere. They're very eager. And whatever they want, they go for it. They're not going to stop. So for those of you who are, in the process of working on, like, getting back into the dating scene and stuff, it does seem like, the universe is kind of, like, setting something up for you guys. Like, when it's coming in slow. And I think it's only coming in slow because of the fact that there is some things that need to still be sorted out. But it does seem like, despite the time that it's taking for this to come in, there's something very stable coming in. What I'm also seeing is that you guys have to work on Five of Swords here. You guys might have to consider the fact that, you have to allow certain things to kind of roll off your back. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is surrendering. That's the whole point of this reading, in fact. Being able to surrender and walk away from anything that no longer serves you, right? And that could be including things that are your own things. And what would you look at that? Seven of Cups. You know, it could be your own self delusions and things like that that might keep you there. So, you know, you got to be very mindful of those things, because if you allow those things to be the thing that kind of holds you back, and you're not allowing those things to clear up, you know, clear out, because that's up to you. That's your choice. Um, Again, it can slow down the process of the things that it is that you do actually want in your life, for those of you who are in the process of dating. For others, it could just simply be they're saying that, you know, if your work, like, let's say if this is more like work related and finances and stuff like that. I'm picking up more so on relationships, but just for those who it doesn't apply to in that aspect of things, it could just be saying that in terms of, you know, getting grounded and finding that sense of stability in your life. You know, it might have felt like it's been taking a long time, but it is coming together. It's just that you have to kind of work on your own mindset when it comes to allowing these things to come into your life. Tell us more. What's that? So here we have the King of Swords. Now this is the advice here. So I feel like they're saying, you know, make head over heart decisions. Be very logical in your decision making. Don't allow your emotions to get the best of you, because that could be the thing that's causing or contributing to some of the negative thoughts and intrusive thoughts that you might have and possess. When you're able to kind of think with a sense of truth, which is not always easy, you know, we're all guilty at some point or another of having some sense of like delusion or negative thinking and things like that. But you have to understand, like, are they just your innermost negative thoughts, or are they the truth? And that's where logic comes in, right? Being able to reason and be able to understand what it is that you need to do. On the bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Pentacles. So they're saying also focus on your bag, right? Or they could just be saying, like, by being a little bit more, you know, clear in your thought processes and how thought processes, how you know, attack these different things that are happening right now. That's what's going to be the thing that's going to open up this Ace of Pentacles towards you, whether it's in love, relationships, work, whatever the case may be. Yeah, it's really about getting that mind right in order to let things in. We have the strength on the top of the deck, you know, being able to tame yourself, tame your inner thoughts, find that courage and that inner strength in order to allow yourself to get out of a place of hardships and lack. Five of Pentacles in the middle of the deck. Tell us more. The Tower. Not necessarily a card that anyone wants to see, but at the same time, look what's on the bottom of the deck again. Ace of Pentacles. I do feel like a lot of you have been maybe going through the moon on the top. Ten of Swords. Look in the middle of the deck. It's like the ending, like the worst of the worst is done. Your life had to get shaken up a bit in order for you to get to where you are, or what's coming towards you. But I mean, it's all gonna switch. It's all gonna turn around. You know, sometimes you have to deal with, like, you know, the chaos and, you know, you know, just that sense of everything is shaken up. And the reason why is to prepare you for what's coming next. And it's also to make room for the things that you do want / need in your life, right? Because you don't want to build anything upon a shaky foundation. So, for instance, if the shaky foundation aspect of this reading stands out for you, perhaps that shaky foundation is intrusive thoughts, right? For some of you, it could be not really knowing how to trust your intuition. For some of you, it's a difficulty trusting your gut instincts. Some of you, it's just a fear of relationships in general, because you don't know how to trust your instincts and things like that. You get your instincts confused with paranoia, and then you make mistakes when it comes to you know, picking a partner, whatever way that is for you. You know, again, it could be your job, you know, picking the right job, know who your real friends are, which family members to trust, partners to, you know, actually allow yourself to, you know, be in an intimate relationship with, so on and so forth. But, you know, middle of the deck, we have Five of Cups. You know, you're moving in reverse. You're moving on in a new direction in your life. So it's like, you know, you're making room. You know, underneath the Ace of Pentacles, we got, you know, Page of Wands here. So that's about good news. You know, so things are definitely, you know, coming together. But it's that fear and anxiety, or swords here, that might be the thing that holds you back. So that's the thing that you have to move on from. You know, in order to work towards your happiness. So it's like, you know, there's definitely a story here. You got to release some stuff that no longer serves you because you're keeping yourself trapped. So it's like, definitely just getting that sense of like, you know, if you've been feeling stuck, those are the reasons why. So let's see what else we've got. Let's put the deck on this one. Third eye chakra, I just said something about that, right? And we have recognition and reward. Kind of like the Three of Pentacles in this one, you know, being in connections that, you know, you feel, you know, a sense of value in, right? But at the same time, being able to trust your own instincts and, you know, your intuition. So let's get a few cards from this deck, and then we'll get ready to close out the reading. Hoping that this resonates. This reading is interesting because it's not a clear, like, oh, this is definitely about love, or this is definitely about work. Like, it's kind of like a, being that it is tapping into the general energy, like, it can apply to so many different situations. So again, you know, take the messages as they resonate. You know, you can kind of fit your situation where it fits. If it doesn't fit at all, you know, you could always check out other messages that I posted in terms of my videos. But anyway, we have material and spiritual prosperity. So this is like the Six of Pentacles here in this deck anyway. Yes, like I said, some of y'all are working on your bag, right? Trying to get that money right. So what else does the collective need to know based off of this energy here? Choose wisely. Yeah, it's like Seven of Cups energy. We have solitude here. It's like the Hermit. You know, taking that time to be alone, to be able to learn the lessons that need to be learned. Remember, one of the cards we saw in that other deck was the book about the library, and I, you know, was talking, like, here she's like holding a book. So it's like, you know, lessons that had to be learned, right? And applying those lessons, you know. It's like studying for a big exam. You know, we saw the Judgment card earlier, so it's like, you know, have you really learned all the lessons that you needed to learn, you know? Authority. It's like the Emperor energy. You know, taking charge. I almost dropped all the cards. Taking charge with authority. Yeah, taking charge with authority. Learning those lessons. What else? Let's get one or two more in this deck. Intuition. That's what I kept saying the whole time. High Priestess. One more. Yeah. Taking charge with authority, taking the lessons that you've learned and applying them, because that's all up to you to use your intuition and choose to do so. So we've got positive movement forward. It's like the Eight of it's interesting because it reminds me more of the Eight of Wands, but in this deck this is actually the Eight of Pentacles. But nonetheless, you know, putting all that hard work and energy and effort into whatever it is that you're working towards, and, you know, building upon, and being able to say, okay, I'm going to turn this whole shit around. Remember, you saw the Wheel of Fortune, right? You know, being able to take everything you've learned and apply it, take charge of your life, and just, again, knowing that wisdom within yourself of where things come from. Knowing when something is just your heart talking, or your gut talking, or your intuition talking, or is it just intrusive thoughts? Are your chakras balanced, right? Things like that. As I say, chakra, third eye is at the bottom of the deck again. So it's like, this is what I'm talking about. I actually wanted to just get one more. I don't know why I'm getting drawn to draw one more card from this deck, but listen, it's got more than one. So let's see what these are. So we have obstacles and challenges. It's like the Five of Wands. Sacral chakra. Remember I said something about getting those chakras balanced? Your sacral chakra might need a little bit of work at this time. It's about creativity. That's about sexuality. We have hope here, which is the star. So you guys are still kind of working on some healing after going through some obstacles in your life. And then we have truth here, which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the same thing as the sorry, I gotta go to my memory bank of cards. I think it's the Judgment card in this deck, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the truth. So yeah, I mean, very clear that you guys, hope is not lost. Make sure you don't allow yourself to feel a sense of loss in that regard, right? You've been through crazy cat. You've probably been through a lot of things that kind of have again, like, tainted your way of thinking about relationships, your way that you look at finances, money, aka finances, the way you view friends and family, your work situation. Again, this literally could apply to anything. So again, the whole point is being able to say, okay, well, I'm not going to allow these things to take hold of me. I'm not going to allow them to be the things that dictate, how I process everything in my life. Like, I have to know what to pick and choose my battles wisely. All right, so we're going to get a few cards from this one for some advice, and then we'll close out with some words of affirmation, and that'll be that. Time to lighten up. You may be taking life too seriously. Have fun. Don't let life grab the balls too hard. Like, go out, have a good time. Preaching to the choir right now, because I need to go out and have a good time myself. I haven't been out in like almost 2 years. Like, actually out with friends and stuff. Like, almost 2 years. I miss my friends. It's so bad. It's been working too much, and yeah, not good. But anyway, what do we have for the collective to close out this reading? All right, we have angel numbers. Pay attention to the signs. Your angels are trying to deliver a message. So I've been seeing 333 like crazy lately. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 11, 11 I see all the time. 2, 2, 2. I've been seeing a lot of different ones. Even at my job, like my other job where I'm a cashier, 888 777, those have popped up as like totals, or like the change back for some customers. Crazy. All the time. Self-love. You are learning that your capacity to love others is directly related to your ability to love yourself. Reconciliation. This relationship, friendship, or partnership can be saved. Interesting. So some of y'all might be going through reconciliation. Okay. Very interesting. And that could be where these negative thoughts come from, right? It's like, okay, I've been through enough with that person, or whatever has happened with you and that person in the past, if this is a reconciliation for some of you. and you're like, am I gonna make a bad choice? Is this gonna be based off of sex, since that's that sacral chakra, right? It's like, am I gonna, do something to impede my, my willingness to control the narrative here, where I can control it, right? That emperor energy that we saw. Like, am I gonna be able to take charge with authority in a positive way? I hear another siren as I'm saying this. Let's get like one or two more from this deck. I think I saw a new door almost come out. Resolve. Another card about choices. This is a period of indecision and inner conflict. It's time to make a decision. Interesting. Let's get one more. And reading this intuitively too. It could be saying like you've been getting signs and synchronicities about a reconciliation. This doesn't apply for everybody, but for those that it does apply to, it's almost like a test to see, are you going to be wise enough to practice self-love in this case? That's just a message I just got. Because we got a lot of cards about choices here. Now, what we got here. Trust and forgiveness. It is a time for you to let down your guard and learn to trust again. With fear, we're talking about together. Your fears are keeping you from moving forward into the life you deserve. And another thing I'm gonna pick up on, I'll tell you, or picked up on, oh shit, okay, I'll tell y'all in a second. And boundaries. You are learning the gentle art of setting boundaries and saying no. Now, interestingly enough, these cards all came out together, and they all equal to the number 10, all of them. 2 plus 8 is 10. Then it's just straight up 10, and or 1, which is all about new beginnings. And then fear. 3 plus 7 is 10. That's very interesting that those all came out together like that, literally together. I feel like it's saying that, trust and forgiveness is obviously of the most importance when it comes to anything, right? Any relationships, being able to trust yourself and forgive yourself for mistakes that you made in your own life. Whether that was because you just, didn't follow your intuition about stuff and things like that. Or you didn't set healthy boundaries in your life, whatever the case, every situation is different. And that might have instilled a sense of fear in your life when it comes to making these decisions. But the whole thing is, they're basically saying, like, you have to move past that in order to get to a point of being able to have a new beginning. We have power struggle on the bottom of the deck. You may be involved in a power struggle between 2 or more people. Top of the deck we have the magic touch. You are accessing the true magic within. And middle of the deck we have auric field. It is time to call in energy protection to shield, clear, and strengthen your aura. So, honestly, like, I just feel like a lot of this has to do with, being able to practice that sense of forgiveness and trust. Obviously, it's a big thing. Knowing when to set up those healthy boundaries, that's obviously important in any relationship or whatever, any dynamic really in your life, period. As I split the deck just now, we have release. Remember, that's the whole point of this reading, with flexibility. When I split the deck, being flexible when it comes to changing and adapting and, letting go of things that no longer serve you. All right. So let's get some last messages to close out this reading. It's 4404 when I said that. Release on the bottom of the deck again. I can't make the shit, but even if I wanted to, I might just take a picture of that as the whatchamacallit. But yeah, so last messages for the collective to close out this reading. Patience. Practice patience with yourself. We saw a card about patience, right? That Knight of Pentacles. Things coming in slow but steady. Also gives me like temperance vibes. And we did, actually, the temperance did show up. Temperance is also about patience, flow, or like the universal flow of things. Look at that big old moon there, you know. Maybe do some meditation under the moon. I don't know why I picked that up for some reason. It's gonna be, about to say maybe two more. Trust, so another part about trust, right? Trusting the process, you know. The card that's like right on the water with the moon as well, very interesting. And they're, both of these are like on some type of waterfront or like a beach or something too. If you guys have like a beach near you, maybe visit the beach and just, you know, sit out there for a little bit and just do a little stargazing before it gets too cold, depending where you live. You have relaxation here. Maybe pick up a good book. Another one with moon. So the moon's really standing out for me, and I feel like, you know, some of y'all might want to get familiar with moon cycles and, you know, do some meditations or rituals if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, and then we have wonders here. This was in the reverse initially. And I feel like anytime I see this card, the thing that always stands out for me is like it's an amethyst, right? And if you look, it's like a split in the middle. Like a big moment happened that caused this shatter of some sort. Really shook things up. It was giving me like a Tower moment vibe for some reason. But does that amethyst still have the same power that it had even before it was broken? Rhetorical question, of course it does. So that's what I'm asking you. It's like you still have all this wonder within yourself and hope and all this light within yourself. There's just some more healing that needs to be done, and that's perfectly okay. You know, healing is a process, and a lot of times it's a lifelong process, depending on the things you've been through. Some people feel like, you know, you have to be fully healed to say you're healed, and all. Not necessarily, in my opinion. I think even a psychologist would disagree with that statement. Like, healing is it's a lifelong thing. There are going to be things that are going to trigger you, and you might have to reevaluate things and go back and do a little bit of shadow work and things like that to really recollect yourself. I had it right there for the first time. Recollect yourself and your innermost thoughts and feelings and stuff, and process it again. But I personally don't believe there's a such thing as being fully healed. I just don't. You're always going to be healing, but the healing power is always there. The light is there. The power is there. You just have to see it within yourself. Okay? We have Gateway on the bottom of the deck. You know, I just picked up on like Gateway to Happiness for some reason. Let's see, top of the deck we have Enlightenment. Yeah. It's giving me kind of like that Hanged Man energy we saw. And freedom. Again, about releasing, right? Little cute birdies just flying away, letting go, things that no longer serve them. So, my beautiful, beautiful people, that is the end of your reading. I really hope that this resonated and you found it helpful. I wanted it to be a little bit shorter, but I'm really bad at making short videos. I just can't do it. Anything like shorter than a half hour, it's really hard for me to do that. Gotta practice. But anyway. Yeah, so I really feel like, you know, Spirit is just saying, like, you know, surrender and let go of, you know, negative ideations that have been holding you back from, you know, pursuing different things in your life, whether it's in terms of relationships, work, friendships, your relationships with family members, so on and so forth, because you have to be able to learn how to trust yourself enough to know that your instincts and your intuition are right. But do not allow your negative thoughts to be the thing that will impede you when it comes to, you know, moving in a new direction in your life. You know, practice self-love, practice self-care, take better care of yourself. The wheel is turning in your life. It's just a matter of, you know, understanding the fact that there is that sense of healing that still might need to happen. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you're destined for greatness. And you're destined for anything that you put your mind to if you want it bad enough and you go after it. So with all that said, I love you guys. Um, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for the support. Um, and yeah, until next time,